Hello and welcome. I'm Rosalie Marshall, and today I'm joined by Phorm, by the Chief Executive, Kent Ertugrul, and the Senior Vice President of Technology, Marc Burgess. So to discuss, firstly, to discuss the Webwise technology that you've got, just if you could give us a brief overview, Kent, of how the technology works and when it was launched.
Sure. Well, last week we rounded out our product with the announcement of our consumer proposition, which is Webwise Discover. And what Webwise Discover does is quite unique and exciting. It basically allows anybody who's chosen to participate to show up at a website, and that website will show them content within the site that automatically relates to their interests, whatever they might be. So for example, you show up at a newspaper site, you're interested in Arsenal, in gold mining, and in a particular television program. It will show you articles within that site that relate to that automatically.
Right, and there's been a bit of consumer concern around the technology, whether you can actually call that consumer concern. I know it's a small number of people
Sure.
that are concerned. Can you explain those concerns, and if there is a need, if you can understand at all why consumers are concerned with the technology?
No, of course. I mean, I think what's happened in the past couple of years is that consumers have started to focus on issues of online privacy. And we're very proud that actually the system that we have takes online privacy technology and moves it to next generation. So we're probably the only system out there that is able to give you a complete choice of whether or not you participate in something, doesn't actually store any data as to what you've been doing online, and really takes online privacy to a completely anonymous state, which is generally not the case online right now.
Do you think so? It's really. I mean, do you think it's the broad offering of your technology, the fact that it's kind of linked to an ISP, that's the worry? Is that why?
You know, what we're offering is very new and it's very exciting, and as it always happens with things that are new and exciting, you know, there's a need to find out what is it about, how does it work, and so on and so forth. We think that what this proposes is something that's very much needed and welcomed by consumers. The ability to make the internet more relevant, both on the content side and on the advertising side. The ability to move away from sort of one size fits all, you get the same page as everybody else. Start to propose to people things that are of value to them without them having to go out there and search for them online. So when we went out and we polled people and said, what do you think of this thing? We had amazing results. I mean, like 82% of the people polled who made a choice said, you know, yes, we like this. I think if you put in the people who didn't have an opinion or whatever, it's 76%. It's still sort of off the charts for a new product offering. So we're very, very happy that we've come out and announced this. We're very excited about the response that we've had, both from consumers and from the websites that we'll partner with to bring the service.
Because that consumer response was really related to the latest launch that I attended last week, right, on the Webwise Discover technology, which is a whole new angle to what you were talking about before, because you've got the advertising offering, and then now you've kind of got the consumer offering, although...
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, I think that if you took any website or anything on the internet and you took away all the things of value to the consumer and you said, well, how about advertising? You know, the response would be less good than if actually you said, well, here's actually what we propose to do. So again, I think that this is the first time we've managed to present the complete picture of what we do to consumers, and we're very, very excited by the response.
Great. And Marc, if you could please so we have an understanding of actually how the technology works. I know there's an opt-in and opt-out option, and also for the websites, both on the consumer side and for websites to opt out of the technology. How does that happen?
Okay, so the system, as Kent's described it, is one in which we allow websites and advertisers to provide relevant or interesting material based on the interests that you've exhibited as you're browsing. And the way that we enable that process in general is, as you're browsing, each page that you visit, we take an instantaneous summary of the content of that page and compare it against a set of what we call channels. They're really interest categories. So you may go to this web page and it's got Arsenal information on it, and it will match the football channel, it will match the Arsenal channel. And then what we do is we throw away the information that was used to make the match, and we just store the Arsenal match and the football match. And that means that, as Kent was saying, next time you go to another website, we're able to show in the list of things that are on that website the content relating to football and related to Arsenal.
Okay, so that's for the consumer side, and,
Yeah.
and the advert.
Well, it works in exactly the same way, and it's important to realise this is a platform. It's not just an individual application. It's this basic ability to match interests and then deliver the relevant information to people, which is the heart of both systems. If you want to look at them separately, really they're the one system. So match your interests, provide you with relevant or interesting stuff.
And how does the opt-out work on the consumers? I mean, what will they see and how do they do it?
Again, very important to us that before you start building up these interests, that we present you with a full screen notice that the system is switched on or it's available to you, and you're given a choice to switch it on or switch it off. If you decide to switch it off, then we also now offer you the option to switch it off at the network level. And that means that the ISPs are installing in their networks a network gateway. It's made aware, because they're the ISP, of the dynamic IP address that you've been allocated when your broadband router connects or when it restarts. And it says, only for those users who are opted in at the network level are we going to pass any traffic into the Webwise system. And the Webwise system is the one that's making that instantaneous summary and matching those channels. So when we say it's switched off, it means quite literally, switch off at the network level, none of your traffic ever touches the Webwise system. It just goes straight to the internet with no interaction whatsoever.
Is that quite a new development?
It's been available for some time, and I think we've really failed to get it across to people that it's there and that it works in the way we described.
And if they want the offering, what do they have to do? I mean, how do they download widget?
They click to switch on. There's no download, nothing stored on your computer. All we do is we're dropping a cookie, which is a random number, onto your browser, and that indicates that you're opted in, and it's also, if you like, a key that allows you to securely place your interests into this list of interests, and also then to get the relevant recommendations out of the system. And
then does that widget hang around on your screen?
The widget I think you're talking about is in the publisher page. And
that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you think about our system,
right,
on the one hand as doing this interest matching, and then on the other hand as presenting the relevant information, the way that the information can be presented is in a variety of ways. And you saw some at the demonstration last week. And one of them is an in-page widget. So the publisher puts that widget into their page, and that's where it's able to display the results that are relevant to you.
That's right, and that's why you need publisher opt-in as well. So
you need publisher to participate. I mean, think of, for example, when you go to a newspaper, very often you see this little editor's notes or articles like this. Just think of it as another box that the website will propose to you, saying you'd also be interested in this. Same thing.
Okay, because there was when I attended the launch last week, you mentioned that evening you were going to have a networking event with a large number of publishers.
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned social networks and newspapers. Did any of them show any interest?
Yeah, we had a very, very successful evening. Unfortunately, we didn't ask for their permission to name particular sites publicly, but I can tell you the response was virtually universally very, very excited, very positive.
So do you think you'll have an announcement to make on that in the
I think at the time it's right, and when in the UK we actually go ahead and launch, I think you'll definitely see websites stand up. Okay.
And on the advertising side, well, you mentioned the fact that they're linked, but just because I've been covering that advert side for a long period of time, and the websites that have actually chosen to opt out, such as Amazon and Wikipedia. I guess Wikipedia is not really such an issue, but Amazon, a large shopping site with a large number of adverts, does that pose a problem?
Well, I have to say that whenever we actually been and met with websites and explained what our technology does and what we can do for them, we basically have had nothing but excellent meetings. So we look forward in due course to having the same meetings with Amazon, explaining to them what we do, and we'll see what they say at that point.
Did they explain why they opted out of the technology?
No, there wasn't an explanation. No.
So you haven't spoken to them?
Not on the security side, which is where I think that...
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you.